Saturn already have Capricorn in your astrological chart. All the information you're looking for is in the description box down below. And thank you so much for supporting Sikiksyd. So many of you have been asking me, do I do personal readings? Yes, you can find all of the readings and services that I provide linked down below in the description box next to the butterfly. It will take you straight to my shop, and you can find all of the services that I do provide for clients, and you can also find reviews for how those particular readings and services have been able to impact each person as an individual. Okay, this is for Capricorn. What is the future energy that Capricorn will be embodying? What is the future energy that Capricorn will be embodying? I just heard Shirley Temple. You have Sagittarius. Okay, look at her. She's like, I'm on a mission. I have a goal. I have a new belief system. I have a new philosophy. Okay. Travel. You may also be traveling. The Arch. You know, this almost made me feel like Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is actually a much deeper movie than you would assume. It's actually one of my most favorite movies. Hunger Game is also, when you're thinking about the Arch, all of it is about precision. Right? Really being able to pinpoint what it is that you believe. And belief is power. What she did was, instead of them being put into this globe of, okay, everybody's pit against each other, which is sort of like the world, right? And even those that have survived this already were put back into the globe, right, into the trilogy. What she did was she took it and she actually shot it up at the simulation. So her target became the simulation. No longer it became, okay, I'm going to be here, I'm going to try to kill all the people that I can possibly kill, right? It became, it went from being very animalistic and survival mentality to, it was about looking at the bigger enemy, which was the fact that the people in the globe were not responsible for why they were in the globe, right? Or in the simulation. Instead, she pointed it at the actual, it looks like a sky, but it wasn't a sky. They were actually in a simulation. She shot up at it, and it exploded. The whole thing fell apart. And the whole thing fell apart. That's what you're doing. You're looking at the bigger enemy, which isn't us as individuals. We're all just here learning on this earth. Earth is a high school because you didn't learn something in another lifetime, right? So now you're here learning. You may have learned. You may have been from a different country in another lifetime as well, and so your privilege in this lifetime was to be in a different location. The future of your love life is in your dreams, manifesting, deja vu, patience, and blissful. Okay. So you've been dreaming about something or someone. You're having deja vu, which means there's a glitch in the system. So you've been manifesting. You've been very patient. Sagittarius energy is about patience. Deja vu represents, even in the Matrix, it represents that there's a glitch in the system. Meaning you're breaking through the simulation, right? So you're manifesting, manifesting, manifesting. That's what you're doing in your love life. You're dreaming. There's roses here, okay? It looks like you could be, you know, in love with someone as well for some of you. Okay. What do we have for Capricorn? All right. The future for Capricorn. The future for Capricorn, please. Okay. The future for Capricorn, please. Okay. The future for Capricorn. They said use this deck for you because it represents polarity, and that's what you're all about, right, Capricorn? All right. What do we have? All right. There you are, Capricorn. Okay. So, you have the Ten of Cups, Mars in Pisces, and you have the Knight of Swords, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. You have the Six of Cups, Sun in Scorpio, and the Six of Wands, Jupiter and Leo. You have Judgment, Libra, Aries, Scorpio, Capricorn, and you have the Devil, Capricorn. Hidden energy that you don't see is the Eight of Wands, Mercury, and Sagittarius. And what you don't see is the Four of Cups, Moon and Cancer. Okay. So what's interesting is I even see something underneath that. Okay. Ten of Cups and the Knight of Swords. In the future, Capricorn, if you're in a relationship, you are the happiest that you have ever been in a relationship. Okay? And if you're single, you're perfectly fine with being single and waiting. Thank you so much for all of your kind comment, likes, subscriptions, donations, readings, bookings, DMs, messages, reviews, and referrals. With the Ten of Cups, if you're single, you're perfectly fine with waiting for, honestly, it's almost like if you're single, you're perfectly fine with being single, and you know that that attracts in a relationship, even though that's not even what you are seeking. It finds you naturally. And you're not, the standards that you have for a healthy relationship, right, is something that you will not stoop below because of the healthy relationship you have for yourself. Okay? You guys could be getting married. This could be a celebration, a party, a get-together. There is like a, it's almost like the galaxies and the cosmos. There's the little statue coming out of the flowers, if you can see that, and the rainbow. Some of you, this is LGBTQ community. Others of you, this is all the Orishas involved after we've been through this portal, the Sirius portal, connected to Goddess Isis and God Anubis, and being able to connect to other realms, right? Other realms. And this can even be the realm of being able to connect better to yourself. When you know what it is that you want because you know who you are. Everything that you want, you already know that you have. Does this make sense? Because you already love yourself. Being in complete alignment with yourself. If you're in a relationship, you can be very, very happy in a relationship. You could also be giving birth. You have the Knight of Swords. You may even be like hanging out with family, being very happy with family, surrounded by family. You have the Knight of Swords, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Now, the Knight of Swords, if you're in a relationship, right, you're dealing with someone who is very competitive with you. Like, who has the better job? Who has more money? Who, you know, is more successful? It's competitive, and therefore it's negative. The communication is very brash. There's someone here who's still learning how to communicate with the Knight of Swords. And you may be traveling, like leaving somewhere with the Knight of Swords. Leaving somewhere, or even coming somewhere, right? For a lot of you, I'm seeing that you are leaving. You're leaving. And you may be leaving because, oh my goodness, something about the communication. Because my throat, I could just feel that, something about the communication. I see you leaving with the Knight of Swords with the mentality of you knowing what it is that a real healthy relationship is. Okay, you could also be just traveling. You have the Six of Cups, Sun in Scorpio. And you also have the Six of Wands, Jupiter and Leo. This is you reuniting with a past life soulmate. This could be someone you knew in a past life, or this is someone you knew from elementary school, middle school, high school, or college. Someone that you may even have children with, or you have history with, or this is someone brand new that you knew in another lifetime. This is being watched over, if you can see, watched over from above. And it's almost like you are more emotionally stable and aware of what it is that you have already experienced, and allowing you to have victory. See, for a lot of you, I'm seeing the Six of Cups can be nostalgia. So that's where you may have this with the deja vu. Or you're meeting someone that you knew in a past life, but you're seeing them in your dreams first, and then it manifests into the reality. This can also be just someone that you already know, okay? With the Six of Wands, Jupiter and Leo, this is about success and victory and popularity, being well known. People love to say that they know you with the Six of Wands. You may be dealing with someone famous, or you may be famous with the Six of Wands. This is leadership. Being able to lead, being cheered on by the masses, right? But also being able to lead with dignity and awareness. I'm also seeing judgment here. Some of you work in the entertainment industry, right? Or you're a historian. Or you work in prisons, institutions, and asylums. This is someone in the military. This could be a soldier. This can also be like a teacher. Knight of Swords can symbolize someone who works with technology. Okay, this could be someone who works with technology. Someone who works with the mental could be a psychologist, a philosopher. You also have judgment. So if you're in a relationship, you're saying, okay, let's give this one more try, right? It's almost dead. The relationship is almost dead, and you're saying, let's give it one more try. But in that realization of you giving it one more try, maybe there's children involved, or you feel like, okay, I'm divinely guided to give it one more try so that I can live with no regrets if it works out or if it doesn't work out. You will realize that it's toxic by trying to give something one more try if you're in a relationship. That there's bondage involved here. Maybe there's addiction, maybe there is codependency, and that's why you keep trying to give it one more try in the relationship. There could be finances involved. There could be the competitive nature of who's got more, who's got what, who's more successful. Means it's built off of something unstable. It's built off of something negative, right? The exact opposite of love is evil. L-O-V-E-E-V-O-L. You get what I'm saying? Now what I'm seeing is walking. If you're single, you're walking towards a new beginning. Okay, you're having a fresh slate. It's almost like you've awakened. This is an awakening. And the truth, it's almost like there's been a resurrection. You see how they've resurrected out of, that's definitely like the Sirius portal. Now, we say this because Aquarius and Capricorn are ruled by Saturn at night, and in the daytime, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Most people don't actually know that, but that plays a big part. Plays a huge part, right? With judgment, this is Libra, Aries, Scorpio, Capricorn. It's dry. This is like the desert, like walking, like there's been a lack of, you see how there's all this water, and by the time they get to this point of awakening and resurrection, it's like something was buried and now it's being brought from the earth, right? And this can be like a new start in a new job or a new start within yourself. This can be a new health routine with judgment, right? Making a judgment call, making the right judgment call. Listening to the call. You have judgment. Some of you are coming into the realization, if you're in a relationship, that something is toxic. And you have the golden egg, and then you have the skull here, which would be like death and fertility. I feel like this is you as an individual. If you're single, this would be you as an individual. Having like a new start, a fresh, clean slate, away from the devil, the lower nature of codependency, addiction. It's almost like, you see how the knowledge is being burned down, and there's a sense of this would not be as above, so below. This will be the lower nature of that. Okay? Right, it's almost like, if this is a relationship, I see you letting it go because it's toxic. Okay? And if you're single, then this would mean that you have gotten rid of that particular energy, and that allows in you to love your job, You also to reconnect with yourself, not based off of the past, but off of what you learned from the past, so you can do things different in the new, because the past doesn't actually exist. But you being able to see your experiences from a different perspective, allowing you to make better decisions now. Now, with the Eight of Wands, I see something is blocked, Mercury in Sagittarius, and then you even have the moon. Cancer, Pisces, there's a secret love here. Someone, there's like, my throat felt that. Myself, I have Aries in my Saturn, and then I have Capricorn retrograde in my Neptune. Aries energy, because it's popping up in your reading, Aries energy, Mars energy, right? It is liable to kill you. Aries and Scorpio, that's an energy that's liable to kill you. But it also has a polarity, and the polarity of that is, I've never met an Aries that, whether they were a man or a woman, never met an Aries that gave with the expectation of something, receiving something in return. Never met one. They always give just to give because it's the right thing to do. That's what it's like about serving humanity. Giving to humanity through mission work, through service, because it's the right thing to do, not because you expect anything in return. Now, if you're in a relationship, it's toxic, and someone is very in and out of your life. You allow somebody to come in and out of your life with the Knight of Swords. Right? Because this is someone who's not, if you're in a relationship, they're not wanting to be in a relationship. Look, he's even flying off the thing. This is someone not wanting to be in a relationship. And you would be trying to wonder why that is. And it's because they have a secret love with the moon. This will be a secret. There's another individual hidden. Okay? If you're in a relationship, there's a third party. Unfortunately. That's why it's toxic and lower nature. And the more you try to prove to this person, if you're in a relationship, you keep trying to prove to this person that you're better than who it is that they may want. Right? The more you'll see your manifestations cease to come into fruition, because you're holding on to something that is negative. That's negative. You dealing with a connection where someone makes you an option. I could take you or I could leave you. That's like going to the store and saying, I really need to get some ice cream. Man, I like that ice cream, like the chocolate, like the strawberry, like the vanilla, like the Napoleon, I like all the la. But they could take it or leave it. They don't actually need it, okay? They don't have a particular preference. They just like having all of it, right? From the difference of being a priority. Ooh, I love chocolate ice cream. I need to go and get chocolate ice cream. I know the brand I want. I know exactly where I need to go get it. I'm going to make the time in my schedule to go get it. I'm going to make sure that I, get home safe and quick so that it doesn't melt. Like, that's making it a priority. You're dealing with someone, if you're in a relationship, that does not make you a priority because there's another person with the moon. Okay? Now, the moon also represents psychic work. If you see, this is a Piscean energy. It can also be Cancer energy. But you have a secret love. Capricorn, for a lot of you, you have a secret love. You're in love with somebody secretly. But you may have fear about it. You may be scared, or there's a sense of illusion over the way that you perceive yourself to this individual. Where maybe you haven't completely revealed how you feel towards them. This can also be psychic work. This can be sex work. This can be being a detective or a police officer with the moon. But if you look, the dogs are looking up at the mask. And dogs can see different entities. They can see things in a different way. Okay? It's almost like, and dog represents, when you flip it around, God. It's pagan. Okay? It's pagan. I almost feel like this is seeing yourself as God. Maybe you've been scared of this. Maybe you've had a fear, because then that means you're accountable for your actions. You're accountable for what you allow and what you do not allow, right? I feel like with the Eight of Wands, there's been miscommunication, no communication, or it's been wonky, lack of travel, something, if it's passionate messages going back and forth, that's seized, right? That sees there's been miscommunication, or the communication is like sometimes it's going and sometimes it's not going. You can see Pegasus in the background here. I feel like there's a lack of travel. You could also just have somebody blocked, okay? But with the Four of Cups, there is new love coming your way. But it comes from the realization that, yes, somebody does have other options, and they are healing from a communicable disease. Three of Swords, Saturn, and Libra, okay? Almost as if, I mean, this could have been getting rid of extra parties or dealing with that type of energy, because that's like dealing with a nightmare. Someone also has an addiction. They have an addiction to something, which is why the relationship doesn't work if you're in a relationship. If you're single, there's been a lack of self-love, and that's why your manifestations have not been coming true. Now with the Seven of Cups, this is about having a lot of options, daydreaming. The Seven of Cups also symbolizes someone, if you're in a relationship, your partner is fantasizing about someone online. They're looking at someone online. This is looking at different options, online dating for some of you guys. And if you're online dating, you're also finding you're not finding what it is that you want, because those people are treating you as an option as well. When you put yourself on a dating app, you're also considering yourself to be an option. And it's their right to treat you as an option because you're treating them as an option as well. Therefore, nobody becomes a priority. And then even if you get in a relationship with that person later on, you're realizing you're not a priority because that's how you started off. The way you start off a relationship is exactly how it ends. There's confusion, there's illusion, and with the Seven of Cups, someone is fantasizing or daydreaming about someone outside of the relationship, but it's a secret. If you're single, then you could be online dating, or you have many options in love. Right? You're like, I have all these options. It doesn't matter if there's one option in the middle that may look very good. I like having a lot of options, right? And with the Two of Cups, this is also about, I feel like you are going to be communicating to someone, right? And you guys are going to be like friends and lovers, and it's going to build into a relationship that you actually enjoy and offer you actually like. But this could be someone brand new. It may not be someone that you have been holding on to from your past, hoping that you can change them, when the truth is you cannot change someone. And you shouldn't want to, because if you're trying to change them, that means you don't love them. And you're like, well, they treat me horribly, and so that's why well, if they treat you horribly, you need to love yourself enough to know that you don't deserve to be with someone who treats you that way. That's the lesson. Does that make sense? This is a new offer coming in, and there's Kundalini involved here, and this can also be you coming into connection with yourself. I feel like this is a dream come true, that you've been able to heal the masculine and feminine energy within yourself, which attracts in love of a new job, love of life, love of yourself, and can also attract in a relationship, even though that's not necessarily what you're looking for. You're already in a relationship when you're in a relationship with yourself, okay? What's toxic is you're dealing with someone who puts you in a place of competition on purpose. They put you in a place of competition with this Knight of Swords energy, okay? And if you're single, then you're just able to recognize energies like that, and you stay away from those, okay? Instead, you decide to be victorious and rise above it, to be the light that you wish to experience, and realize that that doesn't come from anybody. And because it's a Knight, this is someone that is still learning themselves, learning how to communicate wisely, right? But there is new love coming in, because I feel like you've learned to love yourself. And for some of you, the struggle has been to love yourself enough to realize it's not about, because a lot of times you being put in a place of competition, you may feel like if you're with this person, oh, I've won because I'm with somebody who put me in a place of competition. That's not winning. You don't win anything by allowing someone to come in who puts you in a place of competition. You don't win anything. Not really. Because that just shows that you allow them to treat you a particular way. And that they only come back to you because they know that they can get away with anything. And you'll take them back because you don't love yourself enough. Right? This is also saying, if it's competitive, that's a low vibration. If it's a relationship and it's competitive, that's low vibrational, right? That's low vibrational. I feel like you awaken to this, okay? Some of you, it's like if you didn't stay with this person and they decided to go off with a different party or even just choose themselves, there would be the realization that you hold on to that because of codependency, because of addiction. It's addicting. Somehow, oh, well, if I win, if I get this person, then I've won the challenge. No, the challenge is to love yourself enough to know that that is not healthy. Where does that stem from? That stems from the lack of love of self. There is the realization that the love that you've already been seeking is within you. Then relationships come in and you're not even looking for it. You're not even looking for it. That's what's happening, okay? But the devil, it's like running right into the devil. I feel like this is something maybe you... See, when people put you in a place of competition, all of a sudden you hate the other woman, you hate the other man, you hate the other... whatever. That's low vibrational. That's the whole purpose of it. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, I'm low vibrational, so I'm going to put you in a place of competition and you're going to try to compete for me and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Because when you don't love yourself, and it's also feeding the ego of the person putting you in that place of competition, and you hate the other person, now you're on the same vibration as the person who put you in that type of place of competition. Now you hate not only yourself on some level, you're looking at yourself like, well, maybe I'm not enough. Maybe that now you hate yourself and now you hate another individual. When the truth is, you need to be looking at the person who put you in that place of competition. You need to be looking at the person who said, oh, I don't really actually need you. I only come to you when I need something from you. Do you get what I'm saying? A lot of times women or men get mad at the other person that they've been dealing with, that the other person's been dealing with on the side. But you need to really be upset at the person who did it in the first place, who put you in the place of competition. Because a lot of times the other person doesn't even know about you. They could have been told anything. Oh, yeah, I'm not even dealing with that person. We're on and off. They could have just easily dismissed you when they were talking to another individual, and that person doesn't even know about you. They don't even know. So now you hate somebody who doesn't even know that you really were involved with them. They didn't even know that you were involved with the person they're talking to because of the lies and being pit against each other and stuff like that. It's toxic. It's toxic. Men have to do better and women have to do better when it comes to being put in those types of places of competition. Because if you're involved in a third party, it's because there's a lack of emotional availability. Therefore, it will never evolve into anything. Irregardless if you decide to be with the person that you're cheating with or you decide to be with the person that you cheated on. It's not going to evolve into anything. The way you start it is exactly how it ends. If someone puts you in a place of competition, that's exactly how it will end. Rather, you end up cheating on them or they end up cheating on you again. And it keeps going over and over and over. You may keep going through cycles with this person, right? Where you rationalize, oh, I'm better off without you. And then when you're without them and they move on and they do blah, 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 all of a sudden you want them again. Because like, well, I remember the good times. And you can't romanticize somebody. And you're like, well, maybe they've changed. Even if that person decided to evolve, the way that they treated you before was for a reason. They did it because they don't value you. So there's no reason to go back to somebody or to try to reunite something where someone treated you a particular way before simply because you think that they've changed. There's no point in that. There isn't. Because the way it started is exactly how it'll end. Does that make sense? It'll end again, and then you do it all over again. And then you are 60-something years old, and you're like, well, why don't I have any love? Because you keep holding on to a vibration that, one, blocks your manifestations, because what you focus on manifests, and you don't love yourself. You think that there's constantly something wrong with yourself because of what that one person did, which should show you just how little they care about you. Not oh, well, they left me because I wasn't enough. No, they left you because they didn't respect themselves, and they didn't respect relationships, and they didn't respect you. So you were supposed to learn how to respect yourself. And if you don't, you're going to come back to this earth and you're going to do it all over again. Okay? You didn't learn it before. You didn't learn it in the past life. And so you're going to go over it over and over and over again until you learn it. Because you can't run your own solar system and your own universe if that's the vibration that you believe is love. You can't rule your own, because then what you're telling others is that that's okay. It's okay to let somebody in who does that. And then you wonder why they come back and they treat you the same way and they leave you the same way. And then you wonder why you can't, why you don't have new relationships with new people who treat you the right way. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't rule your own solar system and own universe when you don't even know who you are. Because if you really knew yourself, you would know that you didn't deserve to be treated that way. And a lot of you are secretly in love with somebody, or someone's secretly in love with you. Yep. Falseness. Cats could be significant to you. Okay? I believe Libra had the same thing. Alright? This is about you're not being real with yourself or others if you cling on to something like that. And of course, I can give you this information and you can still say, oh, I still want to be with this person. And that's perfectly fine. That's fine. But don't be confused. Don't be confused why your manifestations of a healthy relationship does not manifest, because you didn't develop a healthy relationship with yourself enough to know you have to let that go. You have to let it go. If you want real love, because if you're still clinging on to that, new love, there is no energetic space for new love to come in. You think that just because you get rid of somebody, then that means, oh yeah, someone can come in. No, because of the energy. They can feel that energy. And that was the whole point, for that particular person to block your blessings. And you to realize, okay, I have to have my mind. The way you beat the devil is with your mind. That is why the Mercurian energy is connected to Capricorn. There's usually like an infinity sign involved here. And in here, you're chained because of the mask you guys are wearing towards each other. Staying in it because of codependency, or you don't want to be alone or whatever. That's not being real with yourself or being real with others. Right? And it's addicting. Yeah, you feed this person's ego, but on some level, you find it not just a challenge, but you find it like something to do. You find it something to do, right? Other realms. This is about breaking the simulation. Instead of being, I want to kill that person and I hope that person doesn't succeed. I hate that person. Point it at the real problem, the person who created the whole game in the first place, and shoot it up at the sky. That's the truth. Your mindset. No one can treat you any way that you don't allow them to treat you. You can reminisce all on the good times, whatever. But don't be surprised if you reunite with somebody and they treat you that same way, because they didn't change. The only thing that changed was you allowing yourself to be treated a particular way because you didn't love yourself enough. This will be happening, that devil. December 22nd to January 19th will be significant to you. 1, 2, 3. Pentacles. March 11th to March 26th will also be significant to you. Someone else had this, the vessel. 69 breaking down into 15. Capricorn, you're having to realize where all of this is stemming from. Okay, your deepest psyche. It's recognizing what is real love, because the perception of love that you have is distorted because you live in the past, so it's distorted. And it could be because you hold on to the anger that someone left you for someone they believe was better, or for themselves. And can it also be distorted because you stayed with somebody thinking that you were the prize because they picked you out of, them making you out to be an option. But the truth is, that's not being a prize. That's not. That just means you're easy to manipulate. The light is being shown on this through the darkness. You've been living an illusion about this. You've been living in an illusion. You think that the pain that this person caused can be healed by either reconnecting back to them or even by you being not real with yourself with how it made you feel and how you ended up in that type of situation in the first place. The truth is, it's meant for you to look at yourself. People can only treat you how you allow them to treat you. Yeah, you can be a victim about it. Oh, this person did it, but you allowed it. You allowed it, though. So you're equally as responsible. Are you not? My ears are ringing. I feel like you could have seen this growing up and you maybe didn't even realize it. Like your parents, someone could have cheated on the other person. It could have been very subtle, but this may be something that you have an epiphany about from your childhood. This happened in childhood. You saw someone get cheated on or be put as an option, and then it happened to you in real life. And you're like, well, I can do things differently. Maybe I can fix this person. That's not what this is about. It's about you doing it differently than what you saw, because if you don't, your children will do the same thing. This is touching towards your inner child. This person only cares about not being seen as a cheater, not being seen as someone who put you in a third-party situation. They don't care how you actually feel about it, as long as you don't tell anybody that they did that to you. As long as you stay quiet and say, oh, they didn't put me in a third party. No, because you're embarrassed about it, right? Because it's embarrassing that you, one, allowed it, and then two, they did that to you. It's embarrassing. They only care that you don't tell anybody about it. That they're not seen as a cheater or seen as someone who puts you as a third party or in a place of competition or whatever. This person works with money or technology or health, or they even work with the community, the military, intellect, teaching, okay? But it's about this sense of awareness. All right? I hope that you are able to see that you deserve the absolute best, and that you realize it's not about wanting to kill the other people in the field, you know, and all this different types of stuff, very animalistic. Instead, it's about expanding the way that you think and shooting it up at the sky of the person who built the game in the first place. Because you're not mad at the person they cheated with. You're not mad at the person that they decided to make as an option, and you an option, and you an option. You're mad at yourself. And you're mad at the person who you involved yourself with, who treats you a particular way because you allow it. When you get into here, into your own mind, you take back your power, because you gave your power away. You allow this person to get into your mind and therefore block your blessings. This is about you realizing that you do deserve the Two of Cups, and it's not distorted. There's no other person involved in this. And that's how wishes come true. When you realize the best relationship, I'm in a relationship. I'm in the best relationship I could ever be in. The relationship with myself. That's me personally. But I can't speak for anybody else. You have to do that, right? The masculine and feminine energy within me is in a relationship. They're Adam and Eve. They're married. They are happy. They hug each other every night. Every morning. Every afternoon. Blossoming into growth and evolution. Blossoming into happiness. Being in a relationship with spirit has allowed me to come into alignment with my chakras, to know what I want in my life and know I already have it. I'm complete. And this is something that you will be coming into when you decide that it's not about, oh, I'm embarrassed, I don't want to be seen a particular way. Don't be false to yourself and don't be false to others. Stand in that truth. We hide particular things from people because we're scared of how we're going to be seen. But once you acknowledge it, then it's like you own it. And then you don't allow that to ever happen to you again, because people can only do what you allow them to do. All right? This has been your reading, Capricorn. Very interesting. Take what resonates, leave all the rest. And personal reading information is in the description box down below. Okay? Realize that hurt people hurt people. It's a cycle. So they were hurt at some point and their ego's bruised, so they decided to hurt you in some way. And then now you want to hurt somebody else. And that, like, no. You break the cycle. Break the cycle by evolving into what real love is. And you can only identify what that is when you love yourself. I say.